Well, well, well. Mike McCarthy is out as the Dallas Cowboys coach. And people are in an uproar, it seems, because they're saying that Jerry didn't do it the right way. I mean, I don't know about all of that. But I do think that it's strange the reason why he's not coming back. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, please don't forget at the end to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can help grow this channel and push us out into the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to, you can like it right now. Let's talk facts. I thought something was strange. Early on in the season, I said I would not believe that Mike McCarthy is gone until the press conference happened and Mike McCarthy was cleaning out his office. But then something else started to happen. I noticed that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones were bragging excessively about Mike McCarthy, even in some of the losses this season. And it was then that I said, hold on a second. This sounds like that woman who has a guy that she says is too nice. She'll say he's all this and that, but she won't date him. She won't date him because she's saying he's too nice. Or that guy got this girl that's really nice to him. She's doing all of these things. His friend is saying wife her, but he won't commit to her. She's good, but he won't wife her. He'll brag on her, but he won't wife her. She'll brag on this guy, but she won't date him. They're saying they want to make the move, but they don't make the move, which means they really don't want to make the move. And so when I think about this whole issue with Mike McCarthy, I do believe, contrary to what some people think, I do believe that there was a place where both of them, Mike McCarthy still wanted to be with the Cowboys, and the Joneses wanted Mike McCarthy back. But I think the issue is the vision that the Cowboys had for Mike McCarthy as in bringing him back. Most of these coaches, they always want 5-year deals. They want 5-year deals because it's guaranteed money. Because if you fire him, you typically have to pay a coach that's no longer coaching on your team. That's how most of these contracts are set up. So if you set up a contract 4 years, 5 years for $40 million, you fire him in year 2. If it's not some kind of immoral conduct, well, you're going to pay him $40 million plus you're going to pay another coach. I mean, there's no salary cap on coaches, but that money still has to come from somewhere. That money is coming off of the bottom line, I'm pretty sure, in some sense. And so when you look at Athlon Sports, they are saying that there was a major problem of why Mike McCarthy is not signing. And that major problem that they are talking about, no surprise, it is about the number of years on the contract. It says, but years on the deal became the one major problem. And it makes me wonder, how many years did they want Mike McCarthy to come back? Or how many years were they willing to sign him for? And it makes me wonder because of something else. I want you to follow this. I could be totally wrong. I'm talking facts about, I know the facts is from this article, the evidence is, as they're saying, the number of years were the problem, but we don't know how many years that it was that they were offering him. But I find this to be kind of telling, and maybe it means nothing, but I want you to look at this. I want you to look at two things. If you look at Dak Prescott's contract, Dak Prescott's contract is set up that if the Cowboys or basically the Cowboys can get from under Dak Prescott's contract after 3 years. And we already know they're going to kick some of this money down into the void years. And so, for sure, we know Dak Prescott will be here for 3 years. Let me show you something else. This is CeeDee Lamb's contract. And if you look at the way CeeDee Lamb's contract is structured, his contract starts next year. It's a 4-year deal, but after the 3rd year, they can get from up under CeeDee Lamb's contract. It has my spidey senses tingling. With what we're looking at with Dak Prescott's contract, CeeDee Lamb's contract, was he offering him 3 years? Surely he's not turning down 4 or 5. Could it be 3 years? Because if it's 3 years, he could cut him in 2. What was it? I know these coaches typically want 5, but surely he wouldn't turn down 4. It makes me wonder, though, if it was 3. And the way that contract is structured with Dak, maybe this is telling even something about Dak's contract. Mike Fisher has written some other things since this article. Let's look at those. Mike Fisher is reporting, Cowboys Jerry Jones, full unedited statement on Mike McCarthy departure and new coach search. Now, let me say this before I read this. I was already saying I had no problem with Jerry Jones waiting until Tuesday's deadline to make a decision on Mike McCarthy, because I said this last week. The Joneses and Mike McCarthy needed to really sit down and talk on whether or not they wanted to continue together. They should have saw all they needed to see last year, but I think the Green Bay Packer game upset Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones came into this season saying, I'm not going to fire Mike based off the Green Bay game, but hey, you're going to do more with less. And so we saw what he did. Mike McCarthy was already looking bad before the injuries. He was already looking bad. And I started noticing all of the compliments, and I was like, this is too many compliments by the Joneses. It sounds like they're trying to convince someone when they don't need to convince anyone. Most people thought they were bringing him back anyway, and only for them not to bring him back. I think they both sat down. I think there was some things that Mike wanted they didn't like. I think there was some things that Jerry wanted and Mike didn't like. And I think this statement is probably true. Let's read Jerry's statement. It says, throughout Mike McCarthy's tenure here, including the last several weeks, I have been very complimentary of the job he has done. Jones said, that has applied to our record over that time period, our team unity and culture, Mike's qualifications and track record of success, and on a personal level, as a tremendous human being. I have great respect for Mike, and he has led the team through some very unique and challenging times during his tenure. Prior to reaching the point of contract negotiations though, it became mutually clear that it would be better for each of us to head in a different direction. I thank Mike and wish him, his wife, Jessica, and their family the best. They have been a wonderful part of our community here. We will commence a search process immediately to hire the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, said Jones. Now, look at this. This is the key. People are not getting this point prior to the point of contract negotiations. This lets us know they were already on this path. And you got to really think about this. Mike Fisher made this point in an earlier article, or in the article I read earlier. A lot of people don't understand something. Do we not realize that Mike McCarthy, he could have actually walked away from the negotiations in the first place. He could have walked away. It seems prior to the negotiations, they were already kind of having problems with each other. And I actually kind of talked about this all during the season. It seemed like Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones was kind of fighting out they were kind of fighting in the press. And Bobby Belt, I got to give Bobby Belt credit. Bobby Belt said in the game against the Buccaneers, it was like Mike McCarthy knew he wasn't coming back. He was running things that he hadn't ran all season long, and it was like Mike was saying, I'm doing it my way. I think we were watching them spat through the way Mike McCarthy was calling games and through some of the things sometimes they would say here and there in the press. And so the writing has actually been on the wall. And I started noticing it. I started noticing it because I said, hold on a second. I just think the way that Jerry Jones is talking about Mike McCarthy, it doesn't sound like someone who's going to re-sign someone, because you don't compliment anyone that much and not sign them. He could have signed him before the season was up. Why wait? And y'all remember Jerry's statement? If you listen to Jerry, Jerry will let you in on what he's thinking. Y'all remember Jerry's statement? The hay is already in the barn. They've been at this point. I think they sat down to make sure that this is the point that they were both at. I'm sure there's some things that Mike didn't like. I'm sure there's some things that Jerry didn't like. But I'm going to give you my take. I'm glad. I'm glad because if you look at why Mike was let go in Green Bay, it seems to be a replay. His play calling, that West Coast offense, I call it stale as toast, West Coast offense. His scheme, it's just overall terrible. He's terrible at situational football. He doesn't seem to get his teams. It's like there's always a gimmick behind getting his team motivated. And it seems like they have come into certain games, even during those 12-win seasons, they came into games unprepared to take on the better opponents. I have no problem. I think they needed this change. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Are y'all ready for this change? I am. I wish Mike McCarthy the best. I mean, he's gotten paid. I mean, now Todd Archer's reporting $8 million a year. It's a little hard for me to feel sorry for somebody that's getting paid $40 million a year. Mike McCarthy will be fine. He'll be out there interviewing, and I'm pretty sure he'll find a coaching job again. So, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video. And until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.